Hi, it's Kim.
Hi, it's Kristine.
We are here to help you navigate change.
And in today's Coffee Chat with Kim and Kristine, we're going to be talking about the value of having a journal.
But before we start, please take time to like, share, and subscribe.
In the dollar store a few weeks ago, I found this book. It's called The Best Is Yet to Come.
Okay, stop there. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is my journal.
Yeah, it's the exact same one. Well, yeah.
Yeah, the best is yet to come.
Yeah, from the dollar store, right?
There's different type of journal. I have a audio journal. So in my phone, I have audio files, and as I'm driving often, if I know I had a busy day and I'm gonna have time for my journal, I have a lot of actually audio tape that it's just me talking. So instead of writing, so if people are not, because there's people that can read or can write, they can have audio that they can. It's still a journal you can refer to down the road. It's still a way to put your thought into something, right?
Also, you can get an app. The other thing I'll do is if I have a thought or something that I need to process, I can record myself, like speaking it if I really need to. There have been times in my life where I've reached highs, and there are times in my life where I've reached lows, and I think everybody can relate to that.
Oh yeah.
And when I reach a high and I realize I'm in a good place, I try to record things that I think I'll need when I'm in that low. So if it's, needing to go outside and exercise, and when you're not feeling the greatest,
Yeah.
you don't it becomes a wall. It becomes very hard to get outside, but nobody who goes outside ever regrets it. So isn't that so weird? It's just like going for a swim. You always worry about the water being cold, and then afterwards you loved it so much, but then you forget the next time.
Yeah. And it's the thing, right? When you get into a funk, when you get into a place that is maybe not as good as your mind, everything that makes sense or is good is harder to see. That's why we talk a fog, we see sometimes like you're in a fog in your head, like it's because you don't see those avenues. When I separated, my best friend told me, write yourself a letter of what's the situation. And at the beginning is when it's dirty and it's ugly. And I wrote exactly every event the way they were happening at that time. And it's only one letter, but it's one letter that described basically the week prior to up to whatever I wrote the letter. And she was saying, down the road, you will wonder why you're still fighting. You will wonder why you walked away, and you will wonder why. And your mind's going to tend to forget those things. So this is one of the advantage of writing to yourself, either a letter or a journal. I still up to now read that letter, and it's a letter to myself, and it's just a confirmation that what happened for the right reason, although I couldn't see it at that moment, but it still happened often where I need that reassurance that, what happened was meant to be happening like that, and that it was the right decision. So it's good to keep yourself not accountable, but it's grounded to reality, because the mind forgets what the mind wants to forget, right? So that's another very good thing about having a journal. Doesn't matter if it's a video journal, audio journal, written journal, but that's one thing. It's that what your mind forget, the writing, the word stays.
Yeah, the other thing that's really valuable in a journal is so it can motivate you during those times that those times when you need it most. It can reaffirm decisions that you've made in the past. The last thing is that it can help you realize what you've learned along the way, so that you can not repeat certain past mistakes, and so that you can move forwards in life.
And you can even bring it further, because we all have pattern in life that we do that we have to break at some point. We all have unhealthy pattern, okay? But unless you can follow it, it's hard to realize what's your own pattern. But if you write it down, once you read from the beginning to the end, you're going to see the same story happening again and again and again. And this is really one way where it's easier to see what's your pattern that you want to break, to change your life, or to have a more positive life, or to just, you know, move forward. So that's also a good way to analyze yourself on a certain period of time.
Mm-hmm. And you'd be surprised at the amount of growth, like from a couple weeks to a couple months to even like within a year, how much you grow and how much you don't really realize you're growing. I mean, it's just like, I mean, I've got this plant here, and I mean, I've only had it for about a month, but it used to be like this tall, and now all of a sudden it's got all these other things that are growing on it. And honestly, I don't look at it every day, but if I did, I might be able to see those incremental changes. But now I'm just looking at it now and realizing that it's like half a foot taller than it used to be. There's so much value in documenting your life and your journey and your lessons. And Kim and I are a firm believer that it's important to appreciate like the good moments in life. It's important to learn about yourself and the moments, and it's also important to see what lessons you can learn and how you should be modifying how you're approaching things and how you're going through life in order to live your best life and be your best self.
And don't be afraid to talk to yourself in your journal as you're someone else. So when your friends have issues, problem and stuff, and they come see you, don't you find you always have like the best advice ever? But when it's for yourself, it's never as good, because you know your perception is, because it's personal, it's about you. So don't be afraid when you write into your journal to write like you were writing about you to you from a girlfriend perspective. And sometimes you're gonna give yourself advice, so you're gonna put the words that when you reread them, you kind of have the solution you've been looking for. But you just needed to say it to someone else, really to apply it to your life and to realize it.
Yeah, well, when I write in my journal, I write as if the events have and circumstances have already happened, and that I'm teaching myself, like my future, like I'm kind of retelling my story to my future self. So it's like these are the circumstances, this is like these are the good things, these are the things that I would kind of learn and do differently, and you know, let's see what happens next, basically, is kind of how I'm going about it. So that way, like as you're moving forward through life, you're kind of like giving yourself that nice push that you need in the direction that you're going, and at the same time you're learning.
So try to use also positive words and inspiring word, right? So words that when you're gonna read, you reread yourself, are getting you excited, or getting you challenged, or getting you positive about what's coming up. So don't be afraid to use those powerful word. I like empowerment, you know, all those big word that motivate me to move forward in life or to reach a goal. So wording you will use, I find for myself, it's really plays a big role in when I reread it. It motivates me, and it's create that fire in me that I want to push stronger and keep going.
Mm, yeah, and some reflection words that I use are validation and realization and confirmation. So if you are getting to a point where you found those aha moments in time, sometimes you just need a moment or an event or a day to confirm that you're on the right path and this is where you're supposed to be.
Whatever is your journal, make sure you always have it close to hand, because you never know when you're gonna have the needs or the desire to write into it. Don't censor yourself when you write. This is only for you. Write what come, the word as they come, and how you feel. And always end your entry in your journal by a positive sentence or a positive word or a positive note. So when you reread it, it has a positive effect on you.
Wherever you are in life, a journal is really valuable. So whether you're having your best life, or even whether you're having like a not so good life, or even if you've found this spot where you're stagnant or you're comfortable, it is still so valuable to have a journal.
So we hope that you're going to take all the information we've given you today and start having a journal and writing it, and you'll see on the long term, you'll thank yourself for taking that first step.
So if you have any journal tips, please put them in the comments below.
And don't hesitate to like, share, and subscribe.
We'll see you again soon.
Bye.